All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sunday Night NASCAR the Duels here at Daytona. We are not at the Coliseum. Excited to have you here at a beautiful day in Florida. I know this is going to be a fun one for me. I believe I got Tony on the line. Tony, yes, I can hear you. Give me 1 second to switch you over. There we go. Can you hear me, Tony?
Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine. Huh? Are we live?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are. I think we're good to go. Tony, do we have it figured out?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, I got that
I'll
one.
be right back.
All right, folks. So, welcome to the Duels at Daytona here for Sunday Night NASCAR. I know I'm excited to start them off with you. We're going to be setting the grid for the Daytona 500. Lone qualifying now taking place. 6 minutes is down, and Jarrett Small has the lead so far to start off the duel. So it's going to be a good one. If you've never seen the duels, you've never been around for them, you are in for a treat. We got 2 races, inside line, outside line. It's going to be a blast. These guys are going to be beating and banging, trying to get that coveted good start for the Daytona 500 that's going to take place on Sunday at 7:30 Central, as they always do. So we see Joe Stafford, winner of the Clash, yes, last week at the Coliseum, coming in that Propel 57 machine, coming in with a great time of 50.02. But you guys all know it's Daytona. Qualifying is going to be just the start of the battle that we have here. Going over some stuff with you here. Sunday night NASCAR duels here at ESM Racing Media, Esports Broadcasting Network. We appreciate you checking in with us live, watching this thing as it happens over on YouTube and Facebook. Be sure and let us know in the comments who you're rooting for. We always love to give those guys some extra screen time, some extra love just for you guys being in here. Then be sure to like, share, and follow. Yeah, Matt Langley says you guys are brave going at the same time as the Coke season. Hey, if we play it, they will come. As we got 9 concurrent viewers over on YouTube. Love to see that. But we are here at the Daytona International Speedway. 2.48 miles is the way around this oval here at Daytona Beach. Right there at sea level. So nothing going to be worried there. And it is a beautiful 73. Overcast here, there. So that'll really help the tires out on these next gen machines. As Barrett Coffee just lays down a blazing fast speed,
Nice.
4.49.88. Ooh,
Yeah, that's hauling the mail here at Daytona, and I don't care what car you're in. That's picking them up and laying them down. That's for damn sure. The biggest thing, James, is I'm so glad that iRacing fixed this car with this track combination. You can finally actually race this car on a 2.5 mile oval now.
Yeah, definitely. You can get it knocked out, get out there. It looks absolutely gorgeous. We see Lauren Jones taking his car around the track. Looks gorgeous. Love, you know what? I'm growing on the number placement. They've got it nailed down. I've seen them at the super speedways. They can run. They can definitely run here.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's going to take me a little getting used to. Um, Change for the sake of change isn't necessarily a good thing, but the fact that the sponsors are more happy about that number placement now, okay, I can kind of deal with that. But it cuts into where the contingencies go. And that's where a lot of teams really made their bread and butter that couldn't afford a high dollar sponsor. Now, that area where they can have contingencies from like Moog or Autolite, those areas, it's so much smaller now, and it's such a tighter window to play with. It kind of has me a little concerned for some of the smaller dollar teams to be able to function without having those contingencies. Hello? And I think I lost James.
Yeah, I muted to tell my daughter good night. That's what happened. So this this inside line is what this race is going to determine here. Barrett Coffey, Jarrett Small starting outside row 2. Row 3 is going to be, or row 2, geez Louise, Zach Rinker and Chad Sanner. Row 3 going to be Derek Jacobs and Dave Regal. Joe Stafford and Steve Derdarius in row 4. Row 5 is going to be Tom McGee and Nolan Hudson. Then row 6, Leo Bonacasa and Seba Cornez. Then in row 7, we got Kevin Rourke and Jad Kalafi. They're in the 14th. In the 15th position is going to be John Espewalda III, followed by Nicholas Breidenbach and Andrew Layton. Ooh, you ready?
Getting there. I am still trying to get my finger out of my butt so that I can get up and running here. Dang old hamster wheel on the internet decided to get the squeak into her, so bear with me here. I'm still trying to get into the session.
No worries, as we are going to get started here shortly. Like I said, they're just gridding up, ready to get rocking for the duels at Daytona. I know I always have Joe Stafford on my short list of drivers I think is going to take this thing away. But Barrett Coffey, I think he's ready to come in here and show why he deserves to take this thing away.
Well, that's the beauty of Daytona being the first race. It really sets the bar for the rest of the season, so that if a guy's looking to make a statement, this is where he wants to make that statement.
Yeah, 100%. And as he should. We saw Mike McDowell, what he did with his opportunity. He was able to lock himself into the round of 16 playoffs, as well as just over the years, all the great racers that have raced in the Daytona 500 and been able to have success just based on their super speedway. I mean, Bubba Wallace, one of those, super speedway racer, some of his best finishes here. We're gonna see. I think we might see some stunners.
Well, I mean, we still have 30 laps to get this figured out. So, I mean, it's going to be a fun one. That's for damn sure.
Definitely. So as we get started here, coming around the final 2 corners with that pace car out there.
They just extended the caution.
We got 6 there. We go.
So the pace car is going to go one more lap around. Very similar to what you'd see in the real world. But yeah, James, this is exciting to be here. 17 cars scheduled to roll off for this one. As quick look at what they're going to be doing tonight. 75% fuel fill, 3 sets of tires to get them all 30 laps. Tire wear should not be an issue. The biggest thing these guys are going to have to be real mindful of is the incident limits that they've set on these guys tonight. It's very easy when bump drafting to get that dreaded 2x. And they've got the incidents count penalties every 17x, disqualification limit at 25x right now.
Yeah, a lot of time here. I think hopefully they're not going to have that issue. But you're right. These guys do run a very strict system. They have all the way down to the truck series. Every race you're in is judged. And I think the clash, since the clash, I know the clash didn't count because it wasn't a point standing. I'm sure this one will be a little bit different. They may or may not decide, hey, if you're not going to race clean here at the duels, we don't need you. But of course, I would like to shout out our very generous sponsors here for Sunday Night NASCAR. Of course, Davis Brothers Roofing,
our guys that we want to shout out, the sponsors of Saturday Night NASCAR. Always appreciate them. Need roofing in the greater Tennessee area. They are the guys I would go to for both industrial and commercial. And you just need something new on your house after the storm's coming through. All that snow and water, they're the guys to go to. But here we go. Pace car lights are out. He's going to dip down into pit road. It's on Barrett Coffee. Whenever he's ready, green light is out, and we are racing at Daytona.
Coffee pulls the trigger, and he has his rearview mirror filled with the number 1 is Zach Rinker. Rinker shoving the daylights out of the 4 right now as they haul it off into turn number 1. Still 2x2x2 as far back as you can see right now. That's Derek Jacobs trying to make some headway as the 4 of Coffee jumps up to that outside lane to pick up the 17 of Jarrett Small. 2 Fords trying to work together. 2 Chevys on that low lane. Sorry, this is a Chevy and a Ford working together on the low lane. As Rinker going to have the nose out front. He jumps up to the top lane as they haul it off into turn number 3.
Definitely, they are moving here, folks, trying to get started, get settled for the line, the inside line at the Daytona 500, coming up at 7:30. Joe Stafford, what did I say? He's getting it going as Kevin Rourke dives down pit lane a little bit early on my SDK. There we go. Derek Jacobs, Joe Stafford, Tom McGee, and Leo Bonacasa.
Rourke had a big moment coming out of 4, and I think he may have gotten into the wall. He had to chase that down onto the apron, just barely missing the commitment cone. As they're starting to get single filed out right now, as the 1 of Rinker absolutely nowhere to go. That outside lane starting to stall out as Derek Jacobs leads the way going through turn number 3 with a mighty head of steam right now. Stafford on him, McGee right there, Bonacasa and Corns rounding out your top 5. As we put 2 laps in the book so far, everybody so far clean and green.
Yeah, that's going to be Steve Cornez there in the 5th, but we've seen this all day long with the Daytona package here. If you can get it done, it's the lower horsepower, so you really need to work with that bump draft. But at the same time, I've also been hearing reports that these cars are prone to overheat. So you really got to be careful. But, you know, you got to risk it to get the biscuit. Get out there, bump draft your buddy, switch out every now and then. And I have seen the high line work to where it is better than the low line if it can get organized.
But you're going to need more than 4 cars to make it happen, especially when you've got a nice little freight train starting to form up about 9 deep right now at the front of this piece. Looks like Stafford just kind of riding right now. Doesn't have to worry about McGee from behind. Isn't putting a lot of pressure on Jacobs in front of him. But, you know, these guys are kind of just taking it easy right now, which is good to see.
Yeah, definitely. As I know, Barrett Coffee, Jarrett Small really hoping to be able to recover. They started 1 and 2. Now they're 10th and 11th, as well as Dave Regal, one of our co-stars here at Sim Racing Media, Esports Broadcasting Network. He's fallen back a little bit, but our big winner right now, Jad Khalif. Hope I'm saying that right. If not, correct me in the chat. But he's going to be up there putting in some work for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, you know you can't make all 30 laps on 1 tank of fuel. So these guys are kind of just riding right now to figure out who they can work with, what they've got for themselves in their own package. Because this is one of the first times they've actually gotten to really turn these cars loose under anger since the new Aero model has come out, or new Aero and powertrain model has come out for this car. You know, so everybody's just kind of feeling it out right now. But yeah, so far so good. A little bit of a breakaway starting to form up right around 6th spot as Chad Sanair starting to drop off just a little bit. Now starting to catch that draft again, starting to reel him back in. He's got Zach Rinker for some help.
Yeah, and we saw Zach pushing in front of the race. We know he can do it. As I want to talk about Derek Jacobs a little bit up there, his information there for the number 6 machine, he's got a pretty good caliber on that number 6 machine that he's rocking. Who does that 6 remind you of? The Daytona champ. Any guesses?
I haven't watched a World Cup race in about 12 years.
He probably raced whenever you watched.
Well, talking about Mark Martin, he never won the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I'm talking about Greg Biffle.
Baby.
As Jacob, Stafford, McGee, Bonacasa, Cornez, and Khalif all starting to put in some work now. Looks like McGee jumping up about a half a car length up and half a car length down just to try to get some clean air to that radiator on that Ford Mustang. And, like James had mentioned, that's the one thing these guys are really going to have to be worried about is if you're stuck right up on someone. We've seen it before, and I'm sure we're going to see it again. The worst thing you can have happen is your engine just goes twiff and you're in traffic.
Yeah, definitely, because then you got to get it down, clutch in, do the best you can. Oh, we're crashing the back! That's going to be... I'm not even sure... Steve Dardaris going for a ride. Green flag is still out. Bawalda the third. He's cut up after that.
How is that still a green?
No cars are there. It happened right. That was the last 2 cars, I believe, and no one else was around to see it. So if a tree falls in the woods, let's take a look and see if we can find it. There you go. We see the number 3 of Steve Dardaris and the number 5 battling.
And I would like to point out to the people viewing at home, Leo Bonacasa in the 45 is being scored as the 88. This is why we don't let tech officials drink before they hand out the transponders.
Yeah, Leo's going to be there in the driving the 45. Had to get into Kurt's car last minute with that Monster 45 machine looking pretty good. But we do have a high line forming. Tom McGee seems to be trying to lead around the pusher of Zach Rinker, but nothing doing there. That bottom line is just cooked up. Derek Jacobs and Joe Stafford. But where I was going with that 6 comment for had to walk away for a second. That's Greg Biffle's number. Guess who's going to be racing in the Daytona 500 this weekend?
Smoke Johnson.
Yep, Greg Biffle. You guessed correctly. So that number has a lot of luck here. He's Greg Biffle when he was the number 6, 1 win, 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, and 2 poles. Average finish of 19th with a 10th best. So really looking forward to seeing that, but also seeing how these guys can handle this track. 31-degree corners, 3-degree straights, tons of stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you talk about when you're saying the last time I watched driving number 6, arguably the best driver in NASCAR Cup Series history to never have won a Daytona 500 or a championship. You of course have to mention Mark Martin in that statement. He actually got robbed by Kevin Harvick in the last good run that he was able to have at Daytona. And I believe it was the distance from the front bumper to the center line of the front axle was all Harvick won that by.
Yeah, absolutely. As, Mark, man, that's one of the only diecasts I have. We see right now, it's the Jacobs and Stafford show. Leo Bonacasa's up there. Zach Rinker trying to push. Maybe a little bit of bad touch there as he has to break that draft a little bit. I'm still undecided on whether we're going to see a lot of side drafting here or whether it's even going to be worth it in the way that this package is. You know, the low horsepower, not too much spoiler on there, as much as they're used to. No 9-inch spoiler on these next ones. More
you can see him
streamlined.
getting a little. Wow.
Whew.
Brinker just had a big moment coming through the tri-oval as McGee got into his back bumper. McGee eats the wall going into one as, you know, they were trying to figure something out there, and I don't think they figured it out correctly.
Yeah, they did not, but we're still rolling. Still green here. 18 laps to go, folks. We are going to go to a quick commercial break. See you in a moment.
You know that guy? The one who, just minutes before the green flag, keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam. And Adam needs some help. This, on the other hand, is Steve. Steve is a solid racer, and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But Steve knows a secret. Steve lets our crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 50 cars on the iRacing service, so no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody really should tell Adam.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing your roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter, we do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
Imagine a theater experience so real, you're part of the action. Breakthrough technology that shakes your seat at precisely the right moment so you can feel the action on the screen. Choose 4D cinemas powered by Buttkicker for the ultimate theater experience. And for the ultimate in movies, gaming, and sports at home, add your own Buttkicker. A simple, wireless, affordable device that takes just seconds to install. Text the word on the screen right now to receive a special offer. Get Buttkicker and feel what you've been missing.
And we are back at Daytona International for the duels. Derek Jacobs continuing to show the way right now. And I dare say that Joe Stafford is just using Derek Jacobs as a fuel pig, letting him punch the hole in the air. And Stafford just kind of riding right now as pretty much a freight train on that low lane. That's usually the tattletale of when these guys are getting ready to come down pit road. But I think part of it also has to deal with the fact that nobody's been able to make anything really happen on that outside lane. 10-car breakaway at the front of this thing. You got Jacob Stafford, Bonacasa, Cornez, Khalif, Rourke, Rinker, Senier, Brenderback. I apologize if I'm butchering these names. Breidenbach. Sorry about that, Nick. And Barrett Coffee rounding out your top 10. Then you're an almost 6-second gap back to Noel Hodgson and that second group. They've already got one car a lap down. That's James, I'm going to let you try to take that one. That would be John Bawalda III. Not the run he was hoping for. The good news is we only had 35 cars sign up for the Daytona race, which will be this coming Sunday. You don't want to miss out on that. Matter of fact, you don't want to miss out on any of the action that we have coming up here on the ESPN family of broadcasts. As a matter of fact, we got a couple races going on right now. There's this one as well as the Trucker Speed America series going on as well right now. And at 10:05, we will have the Western States Racing League as they go to round number 6 of season 46 for that group. But if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, and if you're in the live chat right now, let us know who you're pulling for. Now remember, this race right now that we're currently watching is going to start, it's going to line up the inside starting lane for Sunday's 500. The second race that'll happen tonight will line up the outside lane, as we are already 10 to go here at Daytona. Derek Jacobs has led the vast majority of this piece, showing that he has a strong ride under him right now. Joe Stafford has just been in lockstep with him right now in the 57. And then Leo Bonacasa has just been riding around in third, just holding a strong position there. But how about John Khalif? Already up 9 spots. Bonacasa up 8. Cornez up 8. As you've got 3rd, 4th, and 5th making some headway. And then you've got Kevin Rourke up 7 from where he started. These guys have been playing the draft, and they've been doing their homework for this new aero and powertrain package that iRacing has given us for these cars over the last, I believe it's been about a month since that's come out, in preparation for the real-world Daytona 500 coming out. They were able to get with NASCAR to find out what the wind tunnel numbers looked like, so they were able to better transfer it into this car. So these cars have been racing a whole heck of a lot better than they ever have before. That is Dave Regal that I believe they're coming up on to put a lap down.
Yeah, Dave Regal, one of our folks, he is going to go a lap down here shortly. But, you talk about iRacing. They actually had a test at Daytona with the next-gen cars. I think they had about 15 or 20 show up for that test. They raced in the pack a little bit. So it was good to see that happen. Whoa, resting. Yeah, but yeah, they've got it figured out, I think, for the most part. They're ready to let these things rock, especially with all the hype that the Clash at the LA Coliseum brought to us. Definitely the right time to do it. So there we go, Derek Jacobs leading us around. We have about 7 laps left here to go. Joe Stafford gonna be having the button, and you know what? I'm really surprised that they haven't been fighting more for position. Everybody's pretty comfortable with where they are this entire duel, and we're starting to see the breakaway happen. As there we go, Dave Regal going a lap down.
Steve Darderis back out on track after spending 10 minutes on pit road to get that car fixed after that early tangle that he was involved in. But, James, you bring up a point that we haven't seen these guys slugging it out. And I dare say that right now everybody's scared to jump up to that high lane, because unless you've got 4 or 5 other guys that are willing to go with you, you're going to get freight trained back to the tail end of whatever line you're in.
Well,
and just as I say that, here we go.
There we go. You need a pusher. And here's what you need. You need somebody that's going to do as good or better than Joe Stafford, who has been completely content to hang out on the bottom line. And that's what we're not seeing. We're not seeing anybody getting as close to the vehicle in front of him as Joe Stafford is to pushing Derek Jacobs. He's definitely got a setup built to absolutely be able to take the damage that is going to happen here and not overheat. I'm amazed. There we go. Top line coming up. You're starting to see him fan out. Chad does not know where he wants to go. He's going to stick at the bottom. Barrett Coffee. There he goes. He's going to go to the high line. Number 9. He just cannot figure it out. Did not get there soon enough. Kevin Rourke. They're in the wall. Chad Sander gets in the wall. That's definitely going to let this pack get out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are in the closing laps of this one, currently 5 to go. It'll be 4 next time they come across the stripe. As the winning car out of that whole exchange was Nicholas Brendenbach. As he's now up 10 from where he started, so that's a solid run right there out of the 24.
Yeah, definitely. And what that also did was it kind of thinned the herd a little bit. It's going to be a lot easier to get up beside the leaders when they don't have, 10 vehicles behind them, keeping that momentum going. Now they've got to choose a little bit. Hey, we can tandem up. It's only going to take one more person breaking before it's 50-50, but Joe Stafford pushing the daylights out of Derek Jacobs. I don't think they're going to let anybody get close.
Absolutely not, as Stafford using up that front bumper on the number 57 right now, as they are fast approaching. One of them's Tom McGee, and I didn't see who the other one was, but McGee was running up at the front until he decided to cheese grater it coming off of turn 4, as that appears to be the 51 of that is the 51, yes. So 3 laps to go. Jacobs in control. It all depends on what these guys are going to do. Here we go. Brendan back, trying to make some headway. Nobody going with him, though. Just getting some clean air to the radiator is all he was really doing there. As the 16 and the 45 being scored as the 88 getting into it, coming off of turn number 4. 2 more laps to go in this first duel. Jacobs has control. Stafford has 5 miles to get it figured out.
If he wants it, he's probably perfectly content here sticking back. We got a ton of dark horses there. If you wreck out and you're unable to finish, you're going to go down 12 spots back to Andrew Layton. But, if you're one of these guys who you don't know if you're going to get a win the rest of the season, and with the drivers like Joe Stafford, Seba Cornez, RJ Root, all these guys, I'm going to try and do everything I can here. You might as well. You're not going to get to take the car home. Put it out there. Put everything on the line here. It's 2 to go, coming into 3 and 4. But Joe Stafford does not want anybody in the position he's in, which is pushing the leader coming to the white.
White flag in the air. Stafford swings it to the high lane. Here comes Bonacasa to go with him in the black Monster Energy Chevy. Toyota. That's going to take some getting used to. Stafford power move to the front with a head of steam. They're side by side behind him. That's got to be putting a big smile on Stafford's face. He held back as long as he could, waited till the last lap, as we do have a freight train forming up. The 24 of Brendan back, giving a good shove to the 88 of Bonacasa. Bonacasa to the point coming off of 4.
Bryden back there in second. This is how it's going to shape up. Gets a little bit of out of there. Give it to Leo Bonacasa. And what did I say? Barrett Coffee finishing in second place there. What a finish for him. So Leo gets the pole going into the Daytona 500. He's going to have the button here Sunday night at 7:30 at the Davis Brothers Roofing Daytona 250.
What a finish we just saw. About 4 passes for the lead in the final 2.5 miles, Everybody was playing nice until it wasn't time to play nice anymore.
Exactly. Derek Jacobs kind of bounced out. He doesn't want nothing to do with that. As Barrett Coffee just barely eking it out to get that win here. So that's going to finish that. We got one more race coming up on you. Finishing up here, Leo's going to burn it down as he should. He's earned it in the duel, keeping it clean. Green flag all the way through. Do you think we're going to see that in the second duel, or do you think these guys are going to maybe put a little bit more oomph on it, a little more urgency in the second? I know we got some heavy hitters over there. RJ Root, Tony Burt, a couple others that are going to be coming in here. Austin Story, Lauren Jones, Chris Claude. A lot of those guys are here for blood. They're ready to rock. And of course, I have to mention Brian Tarnowski. Absolutely heartbreaking situation with him. We did do our race, but you can still have an opportunity if you want to help out Brian. His wife is going through breast cancer right now, so he could really use a helping hand with the expenses that go with that. I'll be sure to have that link posted here shortly. But he's gonna be starting
Hashtag racing for Stacy.
Hashtag racing for Stacy. That. So here we go. Starting out on the pool is going to be Alex Murray. And we got Dalton Mobley there in second. Raymond Root. RJ Root, as he is affectionately known here at Sunday Night NASCAR. And we got Josh Ward and Alex Princeton rounding out your top 5. Outside row 3 is going to be Austin Story. Warren Young's going to round out row 4 with Lauren Jones there on his outside. Chris Claude is going to start out row 5 with that 10 Dasani Chevrolet. Or Toyota, I'm sorry. Randy Spivey there in 11th. Row 6 is going to be Robert Nestor and David Love. Row 7, J.C. Gibson. Oh, I'm messing these all the way up. Row 7 is going to be Bob Nestor and J.C. Gibson.
You sound like me now.
Yeah, I know. And then we... Hey, I want to sound like you. You got this thing figured out. Row 7, J.C. Gibson and William Fink. Row 8, William Fink, Jeff O'Rourke, and then Tony Burt. There we go in 17th position, rounding it out. I did get your name fixed, Tony. No more 3 T's, just the 2 that it's supposed to be, as we are about to get rolling here.
Huh?
Tony's name has been wrong the entire season with 3 T's because SDK had a hiccup.
Oh, Tony Burrett. Got it.
Burt. Yep.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, Alex. So who do I have here?
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. Here. Oh, man. Just a shout out, guys. Remember, Buttkicker. We always love to appreciate them. They support iRacing all throughout the service. They have sponsored a couple Buttkickers to go to the winner here at Sunday Night NASCAR. As well as we got a couple more sponsors. Of course, Davis Brothers Roofing. We appreciate the heck out of them. Inville Insurance Group. We're gonna highlight them at the Daytona 500 as well, coming on board, helping these guys out. As lights are still on, they're gonna take one more time around. And Majors setups, holler at them. They got some free setups, some free how-to videos as well, on how to drive. Most of their stuff is the road course, but they also have some pretty good setups for oval too. We're gonna see a couple of them in Victory Lane, I'm sure. As a whole bunch of folks support Sunday Night NASCAR. We appreciate everybody in the comments. We got Dirt Track Racing, or Extreme Dirt Racing. Waiting on second to pull
I
out.
have to agree with what they said when they said what a race, because that was an amazing finish.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm sure this one with the drivers we've got in here, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. This is gonna be a little bit more beating and banging, a little bit more trying to get the full advantage of the duels, which is the ability to just go out there and throw everything you have at it and try and get a good start. The Daytona 500, take what you can learn, make sure your setup's dialed in, just to figure all that stuff out. And of course, Jack Dow Motorsports, I want to shout them out. They shared our stream, but he does stream himself. You can check him out on Facebook. He is one of the sponsors for these guys. So be sure to check out his stream as well. And if I'm forgetting anybody, let me know in the chat. I can hook you guys up with some extra screen time. Tell us who you're shouting out, who you want to see. We'll make it happen.
As the field works its way through the 3-4 complex, Dalton Mobley gonna have the button on the inside lane. He's got the 77 of Alex Murray starting right there with him. As the field comes off of turn number 4, pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. The only thing that's left to do is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, and get ready to rock and roll for the second duel, because race fans, it's showtime!
It is showtime. Here we go. Alex Murray takes the button, gets RJ Root underneath him almost immediately. RJ going to push Alex out in front. And there we go. You're seeing him. Austin Story trying to make his way through to the bottom line. Everybody ditching that top line. That is not what Dalton Mobley wants to see up there. History is repeating itself. These guys up top are just getting left out to dry and falling back like rocks. RJ saw that. He was able to get down whenever he could.
You know, how many times have we seen that happen in the real world, too, where the first, however many laps, and it's the last lap that people start to get racy.
Yeah, definitely. As well, we also saw it's hard to stay in the draft here. It doesn't have that huge spoiler. It doesn't have the ability to catch the draft, because as these cars are less horsepower, more streamlined, you're not going to see as big of a hole in the air that they can get through to stay in the draft. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to take some getting used to with this lower horsepower package, with this a lot shorter of a rear blade on the trunk lid for a spoiler. And getting used to how these cars are reacting now. It's going to take a couple of races to be able to get that figured out. And you're going to see who are the guys that are willing to put in the work early in the season and who's going to finally figure it out from about half season on. And, the guys that can get it figured out early, if they can stay on top of it, they're going to be okay. If they, blink for just 1 second, they're going to get passed up.
Definitely, especially in such a competitive group. You really got to be on your toes here as we see Dalton Mobley making the top line work. This is what it's going to take. You got to have at least 3 or 4 cars there, but you can absolutely make it work if you got a good pusher. Joe Stafford seems to have been the only reason that the top line didn't work in the last duel, but it's coming in here now, as we also need to talk to our race winner from the first duel. He's out of the car. He's got some water. Barrett Coffee, man. How'd you do, man? Tell us about it.
Hey guys, what's up? It was fun. We run 75% fuel in this league, and it was right on the borderline. So you kind of let myself fall back a little bit on purpose, but then as it was coming down, we ran single file for a long time and didn't really have a whole lot of notes to go off on how passing was going to work. So about 5 to go, I decided to just kind of start pushing on the outside and run up there. And I tried to work with the 24 a little bit. He was blinking a little bit, and then one time I didn't go with him, and then so the next time he didn't go with me. But we pushed up there at the end and got a second. So most of our team had kind of fell back, and Derek, unfortunately, Jacobs, he led almost all that thing and ran out of gas, I think, coming down the backstretch or turn 3, which was kind of like exactly what I did last year, but
well, that was one of those things with about 10 to go, was that we thought that Stafford might have been using your teammate as a fuel pig, and as it turns out, that's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, I think definitely. Derek even said he wasn't full throttle 100% of the time, even in the lead, trying to see if he could get there, and never sure if you might get that caution, coming to 10 to go or so, and just waiting that out, see how it's going to go.
Definitely, Barrett. So about this package, and we talked about it's the lower horsepower, a lot less downforce. Were you expecting the top line to come into itself a little bit more, or what did it take up there to get a run?
You can get a run. That's what I like about this package. I did a lot of work in the off-season before they changed the package. I ran an off-season league, and we did a ton of work on super speedway stuff. And and working on qualifying time, and then they did the 670 horsepower package that affects pretty much every single other track, and had no thought that it was going to affect Daytona so much, and it definitely did. So kind of all those notes went out the window, back to square one. But I've, just looking at some of the official races, I've not actually got to run one yet this week. Probably go out later tonight, but just looking at some of them, I mean, the Highline can run and can actually be faster, but it's definitely dependent upon who has the most cars. So you can peak out, you can get that run that you used to could, which we did not see at the end of last season, and we did not see in the next gen since they were released up until 2 weeks ago with the update. So there is potential if you got enough cars. I mean, I think everybody was just riding, being real, real patient, real respectful tonight. But I don't think necessarily come Sunday we're going to see follow the leader. I think you can run too wide in the pack for the whole race if you wanted to.
Yeah, definitely. People thought I was crazy. Or I thought I was crazy. We have a Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series we run every Friday night, and they can push. It's their bread and butter, these Super Speedways. They took the next gens out at Talladega, and the top line was faster than the bottom line because of just... And it didn't take much. These cars are very dependent on who you have on your back bumper and what you guys to talk and be able to push as well as you can. So I'm glad to get that. Validation.
Yeah, I think
there.
the top line can be faster. Like I said, 3 cars aren't going to be 6 cars on the bottom, but if you have a close to an equal number of cars, the top line can be faster. But I think one thing that in consideration tonight is you do still burn a little bit more fuel in that top line, and I think that's why a lot of people just kind of got in line and just rode, and I think a lot of people had that fuel in the back of their head.
Definitely. Well, Barrett, I appreciate that guy of you coming, and look forward to seeing you at the front leading around the Daytona 500 for at least a couple laps there. You gonna clue us in on the plan, or are you guys still formulating?
Sunday's going to be obviously a long race. It's going to require multiple pit stops, and put 40 cars on the track is going to be a little different than having 17 or so tonight. So, we won't be fuel saving from lap 1. So hopefully we get out there and parade around and stay in the front for at least a few laps. But it'll depend where the teammates end up, how they finish this race, if we're going to have any help up front or whatnot. I think it's like we've been talking, you can run, you can make either lane work, but you got to have help doing it. So it's going to be very important to team up with your teammates.
Definitely. Well, Barrett, I appreciate you, man. Have a good break. Enjoy it. Enjoy the racing we got upcoming this week, and we'll see you up front at the Daytona 250.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right, so there you heard from our race winner. Pretty much talking a lot about what we said, but I will say Tony Burt there in the 13 machine is running the One More Day suicide prevention race car this season. Provides suicide prevention services to veterans and police, two groups that I have been fortunate enough in my life to be a part of. Those 2 groups, they help out, so definitely near and dear to my heart. Be able to help those veterans out. One More Day. It is tagged in the Facebook chat over on YouTube. Yeah, Jacobs did run out of gas last lap. Did saw that.
We kind of saw that one coming because he led the vast majority of that race, and he wasn't able to save enough being in someone else's slipstream. But you mentioned the One More Day. The other one that is a favorite of mine is Mission 22. Because we lose 22 veterans a day to self-harm and suicide, and Mission 22 does what it can to try to stem that tide and help find support for those veterans.
Yeah, definitely. I've been get on my soapbox a little bit here. I have been lucky enough. I mean, you can call it lucky or whatever, but I have worked with them before, with some of my soldiers, and then they are an absolute blessing. Any of those guys that go out there and send someone to your door that's not going to judge you, not going to try and make the stigma any worse than it is definitely okay in my books, and that's what these groups do. So if you are in crisis, you need some help, holler out. Mission 22, One More Day, tons of people. If you're not comfortable reaching out to any of your military contacts, reach out to them. As we have Brian Tarnaski now in the racing for Stacy. Just what a move, getting to the front of this thing, up 9 positions with Spivey behind him and William Fink in third. What a race this
Spivey
would
in
be.
the Mission 22 car, by the way.
Yes. In the 20, he is the 22 machine in the Mission 22, so kind of worked it in the paint scheme there. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely. You know, and that's what I love about sim racers, is whenever there is a noteworthy cause to try to bring awareness to, whether it be breast cancer, veterans having crisis issues, you know, sim racers are there, and we're there for each other, and that's the one thing I love about this entire community.
Definitely is. I mean, you see it in Brian Tarnaski. We recently broadcast a race. Be sure and go look at that. It does have all of his links as well. But yeah, to get these guys up here and I see these guys leading is really special. It's also Lauren Jones going to be making his way up there. And you are not safe if you start up front. If I'm seeing where these guys started versus where they are now, I don't know if I want to run the duel and start out up front.
You're absolutely right, because, you know, like our race 1 winner just mentioned, you know, you're seeing it now too, even more so than we saw in the first race. The outside lane is getting it figured out. They're figuring out how to use the draft to their effectiveness, how to use the push, as Jones takes over the lead. He's bringing David Love with him in that beautiful Davey Allison tribute scheme.
Yeah, for sure. As that top line, all it takes is working together. We're seeing 2 cars right now kind of forming. I did hear you could do a 2-car breakaway if you do it absolutely right, and it has to be absolutely perfect. But it's happening right here. David Love and Warren Young going to be 1-2. I don't know if he's going to have enough space or enough intestinal fortitude to come down. Yeah, there he goes. Gets in front of Lauren Jones. Woo, that was close.
He had about a body width between the two of them when he finally did decide to come down, but
yeah, he took his time.
he wanted to make sure he was clear. That's for darn sure.
As I think they did learn from our leader last race to kind of shuffle things up. I think everybody should make it from here out, because nobody's going to lead as many laps statistically as Derek Jacobs did last time around. Hopefully no issues there. As let's go ahead and go get our last commercial break in. Gonna debut the correct Buttkicker commercial for you guys. Stick
Yay.
around.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
That was the official new commercial we're going to be showing here at Sunday Night NASCAR, the Buttkicker Gamer 2. A lot better than the one I grabbed from YouTube, by the way, so shout out to them. Of course, Davis Brothers Roofing, Inville Insurance Group, and if I'm missing anybody, please correct me. Of course, Majors Garage. They have, not only do they have a really stellar racing series, they also do put out setups, coaching, anything you need to make yourself a better racer in these open setup races that we have here, like Sunday Night NASCAR.
David Love continues to show the way in the 70. He's got Warren Young and Lauren Jones Warren Young and Lauren Jones all over this back bumper right now. Brian Tarnowski holding down a strong number 4th position, and Randy Spivey rounding out your top 5 as we are going to be 11 to go as they come through 3 and 4. It'll be 11 to go at the as they come out of 1 and 2, it'll be 11 to go next time across.
Definitely a couple of hometown heroes here at Daytona. David Love, actually a hometown listed as Daytona Beach, Florida, so very short hauler drive for that 70 machine, up 13 positions. And then Warren Young out of North Carolina. Racing is in his blood, I'm sure, being up there in the heart of it all, as they're getting a little squirrely trying to stay together. And then Lauren Jones, East Smyrna Beach. That's right there. I believe it's a 20-minute drive from the track.
If you catch every stoplight between the track and there, yeah, it's 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got the highway there. It's not too hard out. I drove by New Smyrna the other day. Did make it though. It'd be a long walk.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not an easy one to hoof it. But so far, we're seeing kind of what we saw in the previous race. Everybody playing nice so far. But as we are going to be 10 to go at the stripe, as Love leads them off at turn number 4, expect the intensity to ramp up here.
Yeah, definitely. I know what Barrett Coffey was saying. You know, hey, you don't want to get stuck outside somewhere on your own. But 10 to go. You've seen the outside work here. You've seen what it takes. I think, and not really any breakaways that we saw in the last duel. So kind of a tale of 2 duels here. Everybody within 2 seconds of each other. Back to Jeff O'Rourke from Maine there. He's following everybody up. But he, as well as JC Gibson, Chris Claude there in the 15th machine from Fairview, Tennessee.
Well, when you think about it, if you go back to, I believe it was the 98 or 99 Die Hard 500 at Talladega, Dale Sr. went from the last car, he was scored as 43rd, and won the race with only 5 to go.
Yeah, a little bit of help from some cautions if I do remember correctly, but you can definitely do it. The cautions are on, believe it or not, here. I know we didn't see any last race, but they're on. If something happens in front of somebody, it's going to throw it. But if they're on their own and they've got it figured out, iRacing is not going to throw that caution. They're going to wait and make sure they can keep the racing going. But there we go. We're seeing them, man, they're diving out a little bit wide. Maybe a tiny, minuscule amount of tire wear getting these things upset. But other than that, everybody pretty content where they are for now.
Just as you say that, Young was looking on Love going into 1, thought better of it. The question is, who's Jones going to go with?
Yeah, if you're Lauren Jones, what's the best position to be at coming to the checkered? Because that's the only time that matters. So if a onesies and twosies gets to your high side, you're pushing the bottom, you're pushing the leader. You're in a pretty good spot when the white flag comes out. Even the popsicle sticks. You want to be 2nd or 3rd. Nobody wants to be leading at the white flag, as we saw last time around. You want to be in a position to be able to use that breakaway, be able to pop out, do what you need to do, go to work.
Very much so, as we are 7 to go. Love in command of this one so far. Young and Jones starting to pull a little bit of a gap on the 5 of Brian Tarnowski. Spivey right there, about a car length and a half, almost a car length back off of Tarnowski. And then you've got Fink in the 93 and Tony Burt in the 72. Both those drivers up 10. David Love, though, your current leader, up 13 from where he started. So I gotta say you're probably on the right train of thinking, James, when you said that you don't want to be. There we go.
Josh Ward, JC Gibson still sideways. A 23 Austin Story.
Princeton caught a huge piece of that one.
I think Princeton may have been having a little bit of equipment issues. It might have caused that. Let's take a look at JC Gibson as he was involved in it. JC Gibson, I'm sorry. Yeah, Alex Princeton. Oh. You can bill about 4 NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series cars to Alex Prinson's internet providers. We didn't even catch the wreck because he was in and out of that one. Oh, very unfortunate for Austin Story, JC Gibson. I believe the 1 car. I don't see a 1 car on here, but 1 car involved in that. Could be Josh Ward, possibly. Yeah, a lot of folks involved in that one. Now it's going to give everybody a chance to make their decision on where they want to go. No choose cone here. But as we saw with RJ Root, he was able to get down lucky enough. This is definitely going to shake things up.
That's Jeff O'Rourke in the 1, being scored as the 48. So once again, this is why we don't let tech officials drink before handing out the transponders.
Just kind of got out of that one. And then without that rear spoiler, I will say these cars wreck a lot cleaner than the Cup Series, I guess Gen 6.
Gen 6.
Because they do have way better flaps. They're built for safety. That's why they have lower horsepower, better cockpit. Pretty much everything about this car was built to make this racing safer and more fun at the short tracks and the road courses. But they do stick to the ground a little bit. But once you take off that air, it's hard to get them back going again. The sequential gearbox will get you every time unless you practiced extensively on it.
Well, you're not wrong there.
Especially when your 5th gear has to run at 190.
Well, I know many a driver from the last 24 hours of Spa can attest to that.
Definitely, as these guys know what they're doing so far up front. We got David Love up 13 positions. Warren Young sitting there in 2nd. Lauren Jones in 3rd. Brian Tarnowski in 4th. Randy Spivey there in 5th. Dalton Mobley in 6th. William Fink in 7th. Alex Murray, who started on the pole, he's going to be in 8th. Raymond Root started on the outside. He's in 9th. And then top 10 is Tony Burt. We got Bob Nestor, Jeff O'Rourke, Chris Claude, and Josh Ward. Austin Story looks like he's going to try and do some damage repair, but 5 laps to go. I don't know if he's going to get anything done. JC Gibson and Alex Princeton going to be watching this thing from the infield.
And then there were 14. It looks like the lights have gone out on the official iRacing pace car. Love going to have the button. The question is, what type of restart can Young get? And, I kind of got to like the situation that Brian Tarnowski's in right now. If the 11 of Jones leaves him any room, as well as I do, Tarnowski's going to come to that low side just as quick as he can get there.
Definitely. That's the safest place to be on that inside yellow line. You want to put your tires right there and get rolling. Where these cars are going to do. It's not like the old ones. They're not going to dive down and get in the infield. They are a lot more controlled when they're wrecking. I know sounds like an oxymoron, but that bottom line's the best place to be. It gives you the most time to escape. It also gives you the best chance for a run, as they're going to be coming around with 3 to go here. Just a reminder, we are live for the Davis Brothers Roofing Daytona Duels here at Sunday Night NASCAR. You can like if you haven't already. We do appreciate that. It gives that for more viewers, as well as sharing to the people you know are going to love this race. Also comment. Hey, let us know what's going on in your life. We got a couple of people commenting. We appreciate the heck out of you. Tell us who you got coming to the line here. And I'm thinking, I'd love to see it for Brian Tarnowski. Get out there and get a win at the Duel. Start on the outside of Barrett Coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. As the field works its way off of turn number 4, pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. There it goes. And here we go with 3 laps to go. Love gets a great restart. It might have been too good as Young drops down in front of Jones. Tarnowski getting a good shove on that outside lane. I believe that's Mobley pushing him right now. Yes, it is.
Yeah, the 77 doing some work up there with Brian, but you said it correctly. It looked like a great start. Would have been great at Martinsville. Here at Daytona, that's going to get somebody up to your back bumper really quickly. That let Warren Young down, though. But here we go. Brian Tarnowski getting pushed by about 4 drivers there on the outside. We're racing, boys and girls, inside and outside, door to door into 3 and 4.
Well, this is how Tarnowski took the lead initially early on in this piece. As they come off of turn number 4 to get popsicle sticks this time, and they're crashing again.
Tarnowski went for the block, wasn't there, had to dive down, hit the 22 of Spivey as well. Very unfortunate. They're not going to throw the caution on that. They're going to keep them racing. David Lugg, Warren Young, and Lauren Jones now your 1, 2, 3, and then there's a little bit step back to Fink, and then Dalton Mobley. He was being pushed by Alex Murray through that whole thing. He's going to keep it going. There's another car hops out in front of him trying to get the advantage. That's Lauren Jones. I'm sorry, William Fink.
Well, Lauren Jones just went to the top side to try to make something happen here, as we are going to see the white flag as they come out of turn number 4.
Oh, Lauren Jones is hooked into Mobley.
We're going into overtime.
If there's going to be any more cars left to race it, Chris Claude.
Fink just went for a tumble. Good grief.
Let's watch that, but I want to watch it from Chris Claude's view. Chris just hanging back, letting everything happen in front of him. And there it is. Caution is out. Ooh, talk about the seas parting for Chris Claude.
Yeah, they did. And I stand corrected. That wasn't Fink that went for a tumble. It was Tony Burt.
On board now with Lauren Jones in the 11. It's into Mobley. Yeah, you're right, Burt. Absolutely.
2-barrel roll.
Yeah, that was try and talk to him from the Infield Care Center.
That ain't no lie. Well then, we're going into overtime. And they're only giving them one shot at a green-white checker finish.
Let's see, who can I get that was involved? Let's go ahead and talk to Brian Tarnowski. You want to go up there and let him know we can grab him, and we will, whenever you're ready, you can pull him in.
As soon as I can find him.
He's up top.
Up top.
He is in...
I still don't see him. There he is.
As we are there, well, overtime, folks. Couldn't have asked for a better show. 9 cars on the lead lap right now. Dalton Mobley, Bob Nestor trying to get some stuff fixed on that car so they can go out and put on a good showing. I believe they are not rolling yet. We'll see if anybody gets off of the line. But David Love, he's been up front, been in a good position to have it. Now he's got Warren Young, Alex Murray, and look at, you can never count him out. RJ Root in the 8 machine and start on the outside of the second row, and then Chris Claude. Fortune favors.
James, we're back in the garage area right now with the driver of the 5. Brian, what happened?
Looks like I'm just watching it now. Looks like I lost the rear end. Dalton was high, nobody was near me, and thing just spun. That's what it looks like at the moment.
Well, the good news is you can go to the backup car for the 500 this coming Sunday.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we were having fun. We were having a good run.
A lot of couple laps.
Yeah, definitely that outside line will work if you got help. That's a definite.
All right, Brian. Tough break for you here in the second duel, but looking forward to seeing what you can do for 500 miles on Sunday.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait. Either way, it was a good experience, especially with the 22 and the 93, my new teammates. So, yeah, if we won't be up front to start, but we'll definitely make it there. We got a good plan, I think, and we'll make some noise at some point.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Best of luck to you Sunday.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
That was Brian Tarnowski involved in that incident earlier, right before that yellow flag came out, going up to try and get some momentum on the top line. Did not work out. But it's Daytona 500. You can lead 499 laps, but it's only that last one that counts, and we've seen people come from the back before, so best of luck.
Well, we also have
to
the
him.
63 of Josh Ward if you would like to talk to him.
Sure. Well, we may not have time.
Okay.
We can talk to you. Hey, Josh, bring him in. Josh, you're going to call the beginning of this race with us. Are you excited?
I'm all for it.
Here we go. So as we're about to get started, and we'll talk with Josh Ward afterwards, Warren Young has the top line nailed down. RJ Root behind him. David Love going to be on the bottom of that Ford Fusion. Pace car drops into pit lane. We are starting overtime, folks.
One shot at it. If the leader can take the green, we're racing back to the checker. Or if the leader can take the white, we're racing back to the checker.
And with another good start there, he gets David Love. It's up to him now who he wants to block, as RJ Root gets to the bottom. Warren Young there as well. Josh, tell us real quick, what was going on? What's going on with the car?
I pushed Lauren a little bit too hard in the middle of the corner. He drifted upwards, and I was locked onto his rear end. And they're moving on the outside now.
Definitely. Well, Josh, I'll let you go, brother. We'll hopefully talk to you during the 250.
Sounds good.
RJ Root getting a great jump or great run coming off of 2. He's got a lot of help with the 40 of Murray. And here comes Love back on the inside as he's got Chief Cook and Bottle Washer for the Sunday Night NASCAR League. That's Chris Claude trying to make something happen on the low lane. Root with the nose out front as they take the white flag. We're racing back to the checker.
That's what Root and Love want to see. They want to be door-to-door here to make sure nobody else can get around him. That's the only way you're going to be able to stop the second and fourth place, respectively, from getting by, as Chris Claude gets a little bit squirrely in the white knuckle racing, as RJ Root has it for now, but nobody's out of this thing in the top 5.
Absolutely not. As Nestor giving a good shove to Murray, you got to be careful if you're pushing the pusher. Almost gets into Love going into 3. Root with the nose out front, getting a lot of help from Murray right now. 29 into the wall coming off of 4.
There he goes. He's going to hook somebody, not sure who, but RJ Root and Alex Murray seem content. 1 and 2. Give the win to Raymond Root. Give the best friend trophy to Alex Murray as he pushes him across the line. David Love in 3rd and Chris Claude surviving to start on the row 4 at the Daytona 250.
You know, we said it last race, and I'll say it again for this race. What a finish we just saw. You know, Nestor bangs the wall coming off of 4. He hooks the 48 of Rourke. And all hell was breaking loose around Chris Claude. But he kept his foot in it coming home in 4th. But I dare say that there's going to be some unhappy campers after this one.
Definitely. It's the duel. You got to do what you got to do, so I definitely love to see the action there as Robert Nestor. Hey, you go out there, you throw it in the wall. Worst you can do is 8th the way that it was running. So I like to see that as Field Filler Racing gets their first win-ish of the season there, if you count that at the duel. Gonna do his donuts. Ryan Samuelson, man, wish you could be here. We know we're gonna see you at the race on Sunday, as we are gonna go ahead and pull RJ up here. And we're probably gonna talk to Chris after that, and then get out of here. So ignore that there. This is not what they're gonna do. Let's go ahead and talk to RJ.
I'm trying to find him. Sorry.
All right, RJ, we got you, man. Congratulations on the win at the second duel. Going to be starting on the outside of Barrett Coffee. What do you think, man?
I'm pretty excited for it. We got my setup builder is going to be starting on the front row for Sunday night, so we're pretty excited about that.
Definitely. Well, you started on the outside, got down as low as you could, but then just got passed up at the beginning of the race. What does it mean for you to fight back, and how hard was it to get up there?
It wasn't really that hard. It was one of those we weren't good on fuel, and so we wanted to sit back and just run laps, get a little bit of reserve fuel, and right there at the end, just Alex was like, "All right, we're pushing you to a win." So it's awesome to have a awesome team owner like Alex and an amazing car for this week.
Definitely. Well, man, I know you got the car set up. You got it how you want to. You're going to be starting on the outside line of this race. That just a little practice race here. We're going to cut away from it, but good luck. Hopefully you get some good information from it.
All right. Thank you.
Am I seeing this right? This is a 3-lap race.
Yeah, they just put it out there for fun.
Fair enough.
So now let's go ahead and pull in Chris Claude. Chris, I know you're out there. Are you out there right now in the 3-lap shootout, or are you gonna sit this one out and let him play?
No, I'm sitting this one out. I've got a feeling it's probably gonna be a demolition derby, so it might be entertaining for the fans to watch.
Definitely. You know what? It's 3 laps. We'll go ahead and run it. We'll test out your broadcaster chops in here, but I know you got a full season coming up. Tell us about the sponsors you got brought on board, and excited about to see the Daytona 250.
Well, yeah, I'm very excited. We got our Dasani sponsorship as normal, and then we also have the Chick-fil-A and the Sprite. So I've definitely am looking forward to having them on board for the entire season this year, and just excited to get back to racing every week, just in general. And I think
you might want to clear Tarnowski's black flag.
Yeah, black flag.
As Tarnowski goes to the bottom before it starts, and you're right, hilarity ensues. But Chris, yeah, tell me about the sponsors. I know you got the sponsors, of course, on the Dasani machine, always repping them. But tell us about the Sunday Night NASCAR, the guys who are bringing it to you. Let's hear about who you got. Davis Brothers Roofing, all them folks.
Oh, yeah, we've got our normal core set of sponsors, and Davis Brothers certainly at the forefront. They help bring in the broadcasts to the fans every week, and so we greatly appreciate their continued support again this year. And we are going to have Enville Insurance also that's going to be doing our driver payouts. And in addition to that, we're going to have some sponsors that will be doing particular races, and I believe we have. I believe we have a sponsor that's going to be doing the Daytona 250 race, particularly Jack Dowell Motorsports, and they invested in a billboard. He showed me a picture of it, and I'll share that with you prior to the race so that you can put that on the broadcast and show this is getting to be a lot more serious business than it was before.
Definitely. Well, Chris, I know they kind of finished it out under caution. They just went out there. Luckily, they have extra cars. I know.
You hope.
The NASCAR, they pretty much got one for this whole season. So the way it's going with supply line issues. But man, I'm excited to call it for you. We can catch it again Sunday at 7:30. We'll have those lineups for you guys once they are finished. You guys can catch it here at ESPN or Esports Broadcasting Network on YouTube and Facebook.com/SimRacingMedia. Excited to see your race, Chris.
The lineups are fairly set, at least for all the ones that were in this race. You can pretty much take Barrett Coffey and Alex Murray, given the fact that they both qualified 1 and 2, they're going to be on the front row, regardless of where they finished in the duels. And then all the other positions will be set by how everyone finished in the duel races. So, give people a chance if they want to take the time to do that, or they can wait till Sunday to find out the lineup.
Definitely. Well, Chris, I appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and send it off, sir. Good luck for the rest of the season.
James, you too.
All right, folks. I know there's a lot going on in the background there, but they're just going to finish this thing out, having a little bit of fun. Appreciate you showing up for the Sunday Night NASCAR Duels, brought to you by Davis Brothers Roofing. You heard it. You can, the Jack... Let me make sure I get this name correctly. He does race with us. McDowell Motorsports, they did put out a billboard. I saw that. It was really cool. But catch us again, guys, Sunday at 7:30 here on Esports Broadcasting Network, 7:30 Central for all you Northerners up there. It's going to be 8:30 Eastern. Looking forward to see you, and as always, we'll talk to you next week.
Good night, everybody.